on Jamison Williams. He rises when it matters most as he comes in third in the NFL in touchdown receptions. It's the Lions and the Packers. All that and more coming up next.
Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season. We've got a good one in store between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. Brandon Garden joined by Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Lions in this matchup. They're squaring off against a very tough unit to throw against.
And this is not one of the better passing offenses in the league to begin with, Brandon. And to illustrate that point, they're down near the bottom of the power ranking, so the focus is going to need to be on possession-type throws. Whether they're trying to use their running backs or tight ends a little bit more, the big thing is to make sure the quarterback gets it out of his hands quickly to his receivers, and they hope to gain an advantage that way.
Strapped in, it's just about time to get the party started. And we are underway from Ford Field. Taking it about the 1. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdown passes.
And they got the win.
And they got the win, so I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first. The Lions had 14-2 heading into this final week. They've been playing their best football of the year. Winners are 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Walker now on 1st and 10. To about the 40-yard line. These 2 teams met up earlier in the year, back in week 4. And it was the Lions who got the road victory in that one, so they'll be looking to claim the season series now here at home in Detroit. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of 1st downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. They run again with Walker. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They go play action now. Lawrence. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamison Williams, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Lions are on the board first here this afternoon. And that looked almost to be a case of, quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And we knew that this offense was going to try and put pressure on the secondary. That was something they talked about with us. They knew that they had an advantage, pressed it, and there you go. Big play for a touchdown on their very first possession.
And the final number on that throw, boy, it traveled an even 69 yards. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it was Jamison Williams wrapping things up with a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And we will not see a run back here from Harris. Veteran Green Bay quarterback Aaron Rodgers ready to go for drive number 1 along with the rest of this Packer offense.
And he did everything possible to rally his team to a win last week, didn't he? What did he throw for?
Over 450 yards.
I mean, that's a pretty phenomenal performance. So, obviously, he and the offense were clicking pretty well. The other 2/3, though, that comes into question. Defense and special teams, they'll need all of them to play better in this one, too.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
That's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties. And he's able to knock that one away.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Well, this defense for the Lions, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. This is taken around the 12. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that number 1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through. And I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll get about 3 up past the 25. The Packers bringing in an extra member. On play action, Lawrence. He's got this complete to Williams. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards to play.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive. He comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Hey, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
And he's got some space here. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 47 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions. First and 10. Back to Walker on first down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Hey, when you get good yards like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with second and a yard. On second down, it's Walker. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. On the counter, it's Walker. He'll get this down to the 21, just on the edge of the red zone.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call run fits, everyone was in the right place.
On second and 7, Lawrence. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. That puts him in excellent position, first and goal after a gain of 19.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Snap to Lawrence as he taps this forward. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Jamison Williams halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Lions go up by 2 touchdowns. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They scored, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. No return there for Harris, and the drive will begin at the 25. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. On second down, here's Penny. They juked him. A second fake. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll run it again with Penny. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Here's Penny on the counter. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. 2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. They set up the screen to Penny. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Kenneth Walker headed back out there. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Here's Walker to start the drive. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Lawrence. He's airing it out for Williams. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They go play action with Lawrence. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed, because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packers with a football here late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. On 1st down, Rodgers leaves it for Penny. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw again on second down. Rodgers. Throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Throwing is Rodgers. Too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
Rodgers throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And he goes out right around the 39. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on third down. Rodgers to throw once more. Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he's going to have the first down as they move into field goal range here at the 25-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So now the Packers turn things over to the special teams crew. They're on for the field goal try. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD. And it comes on the third drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far. Finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with Lawrence's arm, they may give him a shot to let this thing rip downfield. We'll see. Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call. Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Here's Lawrence to throw. He's airing it out for Williams. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point cut. Hey, we get it. No time to waste. Playoffs starting next week. We skip right over halftime and get back to the action. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the third quarter. And we will not see a run back here from Harris. The Packers ready to go to start quarter number 3. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Rodgers now to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 24-yard line. And again, it's Rodgers. Got him in. It's Brown. And he's brought down, but he has it down to the 12 on a pickup of 12. 1st and 10. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for second down. Throwing now is Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers! A.J. Brown hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Packers have got it back to within a score. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Rodgers will throw for it. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. Well, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 up to the 33. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
To throw again on second down, Lawrence. And he rifles one incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming third down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum. The other side is starting to gain.
Play action. It's Lawrence. He'll find Metcalf. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
We talk about moving the sticks and controlling the ball. this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
Good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Now Lawrence. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Lions on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Lawrence. Hard throw, incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he is going to have the Lions 1st down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. So the drive stays alive after the 4th down conversion. 1st and 10 inside the 30. Now to the ground. Here's Walker. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to take it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And they'll get him down right about the 20. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
The open man is Shark. It's complete. And in for the Lions touchdown. DJ Shark, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions will add to their 4th quarter lead. And that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me to that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. For the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. No return there for Harris, and the drive will begin at the 25. The Packers offense set to go. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And some room to work. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 40 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Throw right side, hauled in by Dobbs. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 24 yards to gain there. Another 1st down as well.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try to get the ball back again.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Now on 2nd and 13. Rodgers. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
Well, it appears that they run man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do in that one as a receiver is got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. He connected on his first, this from 41. And his kick is right there. It's good, and this is back down to a 7-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. The field goal we just saw has us now at a 1-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? It might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball, but here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that, and that means opening things up again, being a little more free in what they're trying to get done on offense.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And going right back to Walker. And some room to run now. Touchdown, Detroit. Ken Walker with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory. What a huge touchdown that was, obviously, here in the late stages of the 4th quarter as they try to put this one away.
And, Brandon, when they watch the film after this week, they'll be very proud of every rep if they close this game out. Just a few snaps remaining. They can't relax just yet.
Point after try forthcoming. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was Ken Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And we will not see a run back here from Harris. So Aaron Rodgers and his offense down by 2 touchdowns. 1:46 to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Rodgers now on 1st down. And that's complete to Brown. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Here's Rodgers to throw. Pass complete to Harris. Rodgers in control as he hurries his guys to the line. Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw finds its target, Dobbs. And we've reached the 1-minute mark in this game. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. On the move past the 40. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. First down now, but that clock rolling. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Rodgers. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Partner guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Got a man, it's Tunyon. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 27-yard line. Nice third down conversion at even 20 yards. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. It's brought in by Harris. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with the clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
The extra point splits the uprights, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So 15 ticks remaining as they line up for the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
So no shortage of offense in this game, but a very clean game too, Charles. Each side got its points, but they did so without committing a single turnover.
That's so true, and it certainly felt like NFL football at its finest, right? You talk about the highest level from both of these offenses. Neither one of them afraid of taking risks, or both of them aggressively pushing it downfield. I did like, Brandon, how smart they were about going about their business. They were high-flying, but they took care of the ball.
Yeah, they did. And just keeping it clean in a game like this with all these points, you don't see that very often.